Today, we look at all of these things. And hello, you YouTube guitar watching people, humans. This will be not the video you want it to be. Because I'm lazy. No, I don't care about stats and stuff. I play guitar and I react to it. And if you've seen my videos, that's what I do. So I will recite the specs of these single cut guitars, which we're looking at today. From memory, I have nothing prepared and I don't know everything. On the other hand, the frickin' Les Pauls. Mine is the actual Les Paul because there's no Gibson here. But I thought, because I was reviewing the H150 from Heritage, that you probably want to know where's the difference between the H150, the classic Heritage middle-of-the-line workhorse, versus the new custom core, which I have in the Artisan H right there. And my God, look at that guitar. It looks so much better in the video than here. Like, for some reason, the cameras can get more of the grain than my eyes. But if I'm comparing the H150 to the custom core, which makes sense, then some of you are going to say, well, but what about the Maybach? Because that's always a good question. The Maybach is the cheaper guitar. Well, I have one, so fine, we throw it in. But if I do that, then we kind of have to look at the Eastman, because you're going to say that. And if you're going to say Eastman, then some of you are going to say FGN. And I don't have an FGN LS30, which is their standard single cut. I have the Expert Flame, which is their version of it. And it's even modded. But we're going to throw it in for good measure. Now, so this is a Les Paul Shootout without an actual Les Paul. Why? Many of you have said, what's your beef with Gibson? What did they do to you? They did nothing to me personally. They're suing my friends. They're suing small builders. There is a lot of stuff I can't talk about that I know from friends who deal with Gibson. That's just way below the line. I think I know what their long-term goal is with the new company and all the lawsuits. And it's sad. And trust me, it has nothing to do with we love guitars. It has nothing to do with we want to improve guitar quality. It has nothing to do with we want to improve customer service. None of it. There's something very sinister going on long-term. And I will not support that brand. I've said it before, they can come and smack 50 grand on my table for a single video and I will send them home. Do I need 50 grand? Yes, we all do. But no, I will not. Because I have principles, believe it or not. So I will do the Les Paul Shootout without Les Paul. Do they, I'm going to say this, do they make some good guitars? Yes, they do. Can you get a guitar from Gibson for $2,500, $2,700? That's a good guitar. Yes, you can. Gonna have to look for it, but yes, you can. In my previous Les Paul shootout or single cut shootout that we did at Thomann, my favorite guitar was a Gibson R8. It was a great guitar. They do make them. You have to find them though. My point with Maybach, my point with Heritage, Eastman, FGN, anything you buy off the rack is gonna be a good guitar. You don't have to look for them, just have to go in a store that carries them and you're good to go. So we're going to talk some specs, whatever specs I remember. And then we're going to go into a Fender clean amp. And then we're going to go into a Friedman small box. I never remember the damn name of the thing. The Friedman small box 50, which is right over there. Thank you, Leslie. And that's it. And full disclosure, I didn't even put new strings on. So this has new strings. This I played for a bit, so it's got medium new strings. This is older strings. This is older strings. These are medium. You know what? That's a dedication I put in for you. Let that tell you something. Hey, Eastman clocks in at 2 grand, sometimes even cheaper. Violin varnish, so not high gloss, kind of like this. But then a violin varnish, and look at this. It's a beautiful top. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's beautiful and unique. Beautifully aged hardware there. Those are Lolla Imperials, so that is high-grade shit. It is one piece of mahogany, also slightly aged right here. One piece body, mahogany neck. I would say Clusen style, maybe Clusen tuners, who knows. I think it is a bone nut. And I'm pretty sure that on all of these, we're talking bone nut. None of these have locking tuners. Wait. No, none of these have locking tuners. It's all pretty much the same guitar. Mahogany, bone, some kind of tuner without locking, and a bridge and good pickups. So, that's this guitar. Clocks in at $2,000. Well, now that I'm holding this is the Heritage Custom Core Artisan Aged. Beautifully aged guitar with the only problem of the plastic parts right here not being aged, which is really weird. But you have a nicely yellowish binding, and you can see that the plastic here doesn't really match that. The neck has these crackle lines in them. Let's see. Yeah, there. Crackle lines, and then there you can see it. In the neck, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99% convinced this is a one-piece mahogany body. The pickups are Heritage custom wound, so they make them themselves. The aging and the crackling is absolutely to die for, and it is a magnificent single cut. Clocking in, the custom cores in the US are $39.99. In Germany are $42.98. Whatever, 98. And I think the Artisan Aged, they haven't hit Germany yet, so I'm thinking maybe 4,500, a little bit above that. So it's definitely the most expensive in the bunch. This is heavier. As far as the body goes, I'm gonna say that's a one-piece body. Here you can clearly see, traditional red. The other one, the green one I had, is more translucent, so you see more of the actual wood. But this is, of course, traditional. Grover tuners, which are nice. Really neat tobacco sunburst on this one. Of course, nothing is aged. You can see the cream binding, but it's not yellowed, so it matches these plastic parts more. You can see that right there. I think we're dealing with, I'd say, rosewood on everything. This is definitely rosewood. This is ebony, as far as I can tell. But I think the rest of them are rosewood. Seymour Duncan pickups. This guitar is definitely more compressed and thicker in its output than the custom core. And also the Eastman, they are more vintage voice. This is a modern sounding single cut. And I very much like that. For all the more modern stuff, for cleans, it just pops out and you're gonna hear. 2,500, including a case, including a case, including a case, including a case, and including a case. Playing field is pretty level. So 2,500, no, 26, actually, 26 something in Germany for this, depending on the color scheme. Now, Maybach is a brand from my friends from iMusic Network. That's a distributor that founded the brand. They're made in the Czech Republic, which is why they're cheaper. The labor there is cheaper. But they're great guitars. This is definitely a bunch lighter than this. This is the Leicester, some Midnight Sunset, something like that. I mean, massive crackle in the top. Look at this. The massive crackle in the top here. Massive aging on it. I mean, not like down to the wood, but definitely aged. And the only company that does aging on the plastic knobs. So if you look at the plastic knobs right there, they're actually sanded off like they would be after years of use. They feel completely worn in. It's the only company that puts that attention to detail to that. And for €2,000 with the case, this is a phenomenal value. It's definitely more like Gibson custom shop level, and I'm saying for about half the price. Obviously, where it's made has something to do with it, all this, but they're definitely great guitars. Even though FGN makes the traditional Les Paul, that's not the one I opted for when I got to keep one. And this is my thing. It's more like in between a Les Paul and a POS or a Nags, or Nags body-wise. But it's the FGN Expert Flame. And Expert Flame, look at it. I mean, what a top. That's the kind of stuff that gets me a wooden boner. Then we have this, you can see the flame in here. Natural binding, no stupid plastic cream. So this is clearly the one that, you know, steps out from the pack. You can see on the fretboard, that's a wooden binding, and I love wooden binding on a fretboard. This came with FGN pickups, which were great, but now it's got Thomanns in them. These are $550 extra. Okay, so the guitar is $2,000, but let's count it as an upgraded guitar. Let's say $2,500 for this. The neck has been sanded off, so it's definitely more of a satin feel instead of the high gloss. You can do string through body on this, which is right now what we're doing. You could go typical stop tail, go in here and over this, but this is also how it differs and why it's probably going to be slightly different, because I'm actually stringing it string through body. So for $2,000, this is a phenomenally good guitar. So if you don't need the super traditional single cut look, that could be your baby. Let's start with some sounds, some cleans. Some cleans on all three. No, let's do front and middle, no in the back, and then we rock in the back, and that's it. Obviously, I can't go into 8 different amps with 5 guitar. It'll be a ridiculous video. And if you want that video, fine, I'll make it. But then you have to watch the whole freaking hour and a half, okay? And who's gonna do that? Okay, so clean verdict so far. Woo, that's difficult. Heaviest of the guitars is clearly the H150. It also stands out as the one that has the most, it feels like output, but there's a general thickness and weight around the tones and a clarity. Everything is bigger, thicker, and very clear. I would call it the most modern sounding of the bunch. Very, very nice. I gravitate towards that. I like the clarity because I'm a Strat player, so that clarity kind of, appeals to me. The Maybach is the roundest one of them. Very soft, very dull, but in a round and warm way. Dull is the wrong word, but very warm. Not the opposite of this. The least clarity of the bunch. But it's got some roundness, so probably blues and jazz is more of its thing than maybe like a very defined rock thing. However, each of those is unique. So I can say that about my Maybach. I can't say that about all Maybach. That is sadly, well, that is what's true. Also, not the FGN is not as modern as the H150, I think. But it's got that touch that it goes in that direction. Sustain-wise, the Eastman and the Custom Core, I think, took it. And the Custom Core, definitely a little bit more taken back compared to the H150, more vintagey sounding, but still open, and it's got some clarity. I was disappointed by the in-between position on the Maybach. That just didn't do it. That's supposed to sound spanky and kind of tellyish, and it didn't do it. It was a weak sound. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it needs to be serviced. I don't know, but that was disappointing. Sorry. Now we're gonna go and pump those puppies into a rock sound, and then I can go home. We're gonna go bridge pickup into the Friedman small box, and I will try to play something roughly along the same lines. Whew. This is difficult. Okay. My impression. Maybach, still very round, not as in your face and rock energy, more of a blues energy. Its softness and roundness lends itself better to those styles, I think. The Eastman, similar to that. Now, could that have something to do with older strings? Yes and no. That much difference? Not sure. Just warning you, that's what's happening. FGN, great and actually rather similar, I have to say, in its openness and tone somehow to the custom core, or am I remembering that wrong? The custom core's got that super rock energy with the clarity, but without the pushing it so much. It's, compared to the H150, it's stepping back a bit. But boy, what a great guitar. However, the FGN is, you know, on its tail. Eastman and Maybach definitely more subdued, but still both great guitars. The custom core, I have an issue there where the high E string has that scratchy sound somehow. I don't know if it's pickup height or whatever it is, but on some notes, especially higher when you're playing leads, on the single notes, you hear it being like high frequencies pushing through. I don't know what that is. This is definitely the most aggressive one of them. It pushes the most. It's the most dense sounding. So maybe what I'm trying to explain when I played the cleans, there's a density, which it shows more, of course, with driven sounds. But while there is a dense and thick sound, it's clear between the strings. There's separation. It's not muddy. It's dense, but not muddy. I know describing all of this stuff with actual words is difficult, but I mean, you heard it. It's fun to play. It's the least classic sounding, but to get the job done for rocking out and pushing and, you know, being the fat riff man, this might be the guitar I would go with. I'm also considering, I mean, that's the one I would go with because I just love the damn thing, but considering the price difference between these two, which is about almost $2,000. Okay, so bang for the buck, considering that this is $2,000 and this is $2,000. This is $2,500, $2,600 with the new pickups. This is above the price range of the Maybach and the Eastman. And if you're looking for more classic, then those might be your thing. If you're looking for more classic and you got the dough, this might be your thing. The FGN is the odd one out because it's not really a classic single cut, but it's a great guitar and it looked really dandy. But this is the overall, I would take that into a studio. The cleans pop out and are thick and nice. The in-between position with some chorus and delay, you're freaking there. And the driven stuff, it pushes beautifully. I think they're all great guitars. Well, the stupid thing is, all of them except this one, which I just kind of picked, are mine. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're all great. I love to play them all. These two might need new strings, but generally speaking, you can't go wrong with buying any of them. The most important thing is, as you've seen on this comparison, about this comparison, try them if you can. I know this video is supposed to help you make a buying decision, and I think it can get you a general idea of what you're looking for, but now it's your job to go into a shop or order one, order a Maybach, order an Eastman, order an FGN, play them at home for a couple days, send the other ones back. Now with the internet, that's possible. I know shops are not happy about that, but if you keep one of them, I'm pretty sure they're okay. Don't bang them up. It is highly important to get these in your hands. Now this one is definitely the heaviest one of them. Would I want to play this on stage over the Maybach? No, the Maybach is super light. Playing a 2-hour gig with this? Probably not. The Maybach rocks a little bit less, but I still might want to go with the Maybach because this is just going to kill me. Okay, and the audience doesn't know the difference. So there's a lot of stuff to consider, and you go ahead and consider it. I'll link to whatever I can find below. That'll help you to get there quickly. I was not paid by anyone to make this video. I just thought it's a video after I got paid to make the H150 video and the custom core video to compare it with my other guitars because you're gonna ask. And I know you're gonna say, yeah, but you didn't have a Gibson in there. But I literally wouldn't have a Gibson in there for anything because I just don't want to support the brand. Getting ahead by suing people isn't getting ahead. It's why don't you just make good guitars and sell those? I know why, but I can't tell you because I don't want to get sued. I know why. I know why they're doing it. Anyway, moving on. Thanks for watching. Links below. Animals at the end.
Time flying by, thoughts are trapped inside a black hole. No sleep tonight, rest till everything is set in stone. So I won't stop trying till the sun goes up. My body's tired, but my mind won't stop. I won't back down until I've reached the top. Till the sun goes up.